Hey, welcome back. I didn't think I'd be doing another new gear episode this quickly, but I couldn't resist. Another amp popped up for what I thought was a pretty good price and one that I've always wanted. So now I've got the EVH 5150 Mark III model, 100 watt head. I actually had a 60 watt one of these a long time ago and I sold it and I really regretted it. I really loved that amp. That was a great amp. I've heard that the blue channel on this one is different than that amp, but honestly I spent most of my time on the red channel on that amp anyway. But that was a long time ago, before I was into like the crunch tones quite as much, so I really want to see what this blue channel is like compared to that one. And I'm already armed with the schematic knowledge of what I need to change in order to make this blue channel the same as the 50 watt version. So I'm really psyched about this amp, and we'll take a look at it here. 3 channels, each with its own controls. It is kind of funny that you've got channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. They all have gain, volume, treble, middle, bass. And then there's 3 separate presence controls, one for each channel over here. I think it's kind of funny that they didn't just put the presence controls in each channel block, but no big deal. I think the number one problem I see with the amp now that I've got it in my hands and I've just checked it out is that the power and standby switches are on the back, which to most people probably is not a big deal, but that really sucks for me because of the shelf situation that I have. I can't put this amp up without because it'd be hard to reach around behind. I mean, I have pretty long arms. I think I might be able to, if I put it down towards the end, I probably could reach around and flip it on and off that way. But that's a problem I have with the orange Thunderverb as well. That amp also has the power and standby switches on the back. And another amp I was looking to get my hands on pretty soon, I hope, is the Fender Supersonic. So same problem. I'll have to come up with some kind of solution for those. Maybe every amp I have that the switches are on the back, I'll put on a separate shelf or something that I can actually walk behind. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it looks like it's in pretty good shape. It was another Guitar Center find. It's a little scuffed up on the handle, but there's no major like tears in the Tolex or anything like that. So I'm pretty pleased, especially because I think I probably paid, maybe $200 less than I would have paid on Reverb or somewhere else. This was a pretty good deal, I thought. As happens with Guitar Center, there's no foot switch. Really sucks. I don't know why that seems to happen so much. I don't know if people, I guess sometimes people just trade in the amp alone. They forget about the foot switch, but it does kind of feel like my local Guitar Center has a, goodness gracious. My local Guitar Center has had a Marshall 2-button foot switch for a vintage modern literally sitting on the floor of the used area for 6 months now. Every time I'm in there, I ask if I can buy it, and they say that I can't because it doesn't have a SKU number. So they won't sell it to me, but the amp that it came in with has already been sold to someone else. And it's like, I don't know. I bet the foot switch for this amp is probably sitting at the Guitar Center up there, like stuck in some corner or something, but whatever. And it is a little bit of a shame. The 50 watt version, the 4-button foot switch, has just a standard TRS plug, which makes it a lot easier to find a replacement for. This amp, the foot switch is like an actual 7-pin connector, so it's like a proprietary cable. So if I can't find the original foot switch for this, I'll probably have to end up doing some other kind of third-party solution. Which might be what I have to do for the Mesa switch, the Mark IV in the video that I just did. I wasn't able to get a hold of that foot switch, and if I want one, the actual Mesa one is $219, which is a lot, but I would pay it if it were available, but it's not. So anyway, all that stuff aside, the tubes came unpacked, so we're going to take a look. I'm going to set these tubes up. If my cat can you just, there you go. I love you, but come on. All right. Let's turn this thing over. Let's unscrew the back panel here. We'll put these tubes in it. And I already took a peek in here, so so I know what to expect, and I think it's pretty funny. So I'll grab the camera as soon as I get this off and drag it over here. You know, if you wanted to help, you could pick up a screwdriver. Callie, hey. Nope. See, as soon as I ask for help, she just goes away. Okay, all right. Let me grab the camera here. I'll bring you over and you can see for yourself. All right. So I thought this was pretty wild, but like I've seen caked on dust before, but this is really that's really on there. So I think it's probably worth doing a quick little vacuum job. So. All right, well, that's all I can do for right now because it's after midnight. So tomorrow during the day when it's appropriate, we'll hook it up and see how it sounds. Okay, it's the next morning. I'm going to plug in this 5150 100 watt and give it a quick little playthrough. I've got two cab options, but I've been using the Marshall cab with the G12 T75, so I'm just going to start on that one since that's my favorite cab to start with. And then maybe I'll try the V30s a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get this all set up. Alright, so I got the black Beretta from my last video, but this time it's got a full shred Seymour Duncan pickup in the bridge. It's a bit gainier than I expected. The green channel on my 50 watt one was very clean. Although I guess I ran the gain a little bit lower than half on that one. So let's try the gain turn down a little. Still sounds pretty good to me. Wow, I can't believe how much gain is on the green channel. I don't know if that's factory or not, or if it's been modded in some way. It just seems like a lot of gain, but... It sounds great though. I'm really pumped about that. So I can't wait to dive into that one a little bit more. Let's check out channel 2, the famous blue channel. Well, that's a great sounding channel for sure. Let's go ahead and jump all the way up to red. Wow, that sounds amazing. That's a really great sounding channel. I'm hesitant to turn the gain any higher than a half because that's plenty already, but so I guess you can really oversaturate it if you want to. I mean, it's kind of like a 6505 or a Peavey 5150 in that respect. Actually cleans up pretty well too, which surprises me for a really high gain channel like that. I think like it's probably pretty normal, but my initial wow factor is all about that red channel because it just sort of comes at you, you know, with all that gain and feels easy to play. It sounds really great. I haven't even started tweaking the EQ controls or anything yet. But I'm really impressed with the green channel too. I mean, it's hard to say anything that I don't like so far about the amp. I already talked about the controls being on the back for the power and standby. So maybe I'll find some other features that I don't like, but I have to say I'm really impressed. I mean, when I had the 50 watt one, I think I spent just about all of my time on the red channel, but it's quite clear that the green and blue channels are also absolutely superb. So I'm looking forward to doing a bit of a deep dive on this one, and you know, the schematic is available online, and I know there's a 100S model which has a slightly different blue channel, which apparently is only 2 value changes, so I might try it out a little bit like this. Maybe I'll take it out and I'll make those value changes and try it with the 100S style blue channel and see if I like that sound a little bit better with more gain. But for right now, I mean, the blue channel, people say it doesn't have enough gain, but if I turn it all the way up, it seems like it's got plenty of gain to me. Now let's especially boost it or something. Not my best Hot for Teacher impression, but I'm very, very pleased with the tone. I mean, it sounds incredible. So count me very excited about this amp. Really glad to have another one of these in the house. I love that 50 watt one that I had, so it's pretty cool to have sort of the big brother and, you know, add it to my collection of 100 watt amps that are excessive for this tiny room. I do have some good news. I might be moving soon, which I'm really excited about. I should be able to well, taking all this down and moving, it's definitely going to suck. And I'm still going to be here for at least another 2 months or maybe 3 months. But the place that we're moving, it looks like there's a room there that's a little bit bigger than this one. So I might be able to actually sort of spread out a little bit more and have a really nice, you know, home studio set up. Right now, this room is actually, I'm crammed into a kind of a 11 foot by 11 foot little bedroom. So I'm excited about having a little bit of a bigger room to really spread out. And on that note, I also might grab another 4x12. I have this Marshall one with the G12 T75s. I have this Fender one with vintage 30s, which I really like that cabinet, and it's a little bit smaller though. So I think maybe I might look into like a oversized recto cab or something like that. That way I can have multiple options when it comes to the size of the cabinet itself. The other option I was looking at is maybe like an orange PPC 4x12, which would look really great with the orange amps that I have, but the dimensions of the orange cab are really, really similar to the Marshall cab, so I'm not sure if it really is worthwhile having 2 cabs with almost the same dimensions. And if I end up putting the same speakers or something in them, then they probably sound really similar. I could be wrong on that, so if you have opinions or advice about 4x12 cabs, please let me know, because I'd love to hear some advice. Since I'm not moving for a couple of months, I have time to kind of wait and look for the right deal, and that's probably what I'm going to do. So anyway, thanks for watching and have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.